No, don't leave Percy. Percy Martin is more than my lawyer, Sheriff. He's my good right arm. I want him to hear what I have to say. Sit down, Ben, isn't it? Let's get right to the point, Ben. I think you and I could be friends. I'd like to have you on my team, in a manner of speaking.
Just what does that mean?
It means I'm a realist, Ben. A business like this can cause trouble at times.
That's right, and that's my job.
Sure it is, but I'll be frank with you. I don't think it's fair. I have a responsibility in this town, and I intend to live up to it.
How's that?
Well, since I'm the one who's making your job tougher, so to speak, I think it's only fair that I compensate you for your extra efforts.
Well, I don't suspect the judge would like that much. Or anyone else.
I'm aware of that. So, let's keep it between us, huh? $500 a week.
$500?
Value for value, I always say. I think it's a fair price for taking care of the troublemakers my boys might round up. I take it we're in agreement then. Now you just drop in on Percy here every Saturday night. He'll see you get the same amount. Now what say you and I go and join the fun, huh?
23 black.
Get your hat.
Who's that man?
Joe Novak.
Trouble?
When he wants to be. Gets away with it, too. All the young fellas in this town idolize him. Do anything he says.
Perhaps I should get to know him better.
Don't worry, you will.
Hold it, mister. You made a mistake. Pay off on 21.
No, the number was 24.
You put it there. It fell on 21. This guy's a crook. He moved the ball.
Wait. Come here. Look, I'd like to explain to you what...
This way.
All right, Judd, pick up your money and go on home.
Well, what seems to be the trouble here?
A little misunderstanding, but I think we got it all straightened out right now.
Don't you think you fellows are exceeding my authority a little? You can't solve anything with violence. How many times do I have to tell you that? Sheriff, I'd appreciate your seeing these men home with their money. Now, may I offer you a drink?
All bad cents. Betty?
People get carried away sometimes. I'm afraid my friends acted a little hastily.
Oh, that's all right. I'm a mite hasty myself sometimes.
Yes, I noticed that. Perhaps you should be working for me.
What would you do with a blacksmith?
Well, you have other talents.
But what I do for my friends ain't for hire. I'm just a blacksmith.
Well, here's to you. Let's hope we can be friends. You two, know each other, don't you?
Nice to see you again, man.
Why don't you have a drink together? I have some work to do back in the office. Oh, and Marie. Joe is a very good friend of mine.
Seven red. Doesn't seem right. Those men working in the mines to turn their money over to Culligan. The town's a cesspool. Culligan's got everything bought.
Even the Territorial Commission. I've appealed to them 5 times, and their answer is that the miners are gonna have fun.
Real fun. Robbed and beaten up by Culligan's thugs.
I've seen it happen before, when I was slinging guns. Those sharpies come in, and when they're through, there isn't even a town left. We gotta do something before that happens.
How? Everyone's on Culligan's payroll but us.
Then it's up to us. We still have a few friends left here. At least we can try.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How did you know I was talking to you? What are you doing?
I'm fixing the wheel on a buggy.
Do you ride in it?
Sometimes.
Where do you go?
Somewhere.
Alone?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Ooh.
It's so lovely. So peaceful.
Sure a change from the Grand Mercury, isn't it?
Go ahead and say it. How did a nice girl like me get into, etc., etc.?
That's easy. You like it. I like it too if you were around.
I'm always around at the Mercury.
Yeah. But I don't like sharing.
Well, I have a boss. He likes me paying attention to the customers.
Yeah, I know your boss.
Maybe he'd be nice to you if you'd work for him.
That's what you want. No, that time I thought it was me.
Let's go into town.
If that isn't what you want, what is it?
Maybe it's you. Maybe I think you're different. Maybe we could be.
You're selling, I'm buying. What do you want me to do?
It's not that easy. I'm very expensive. Joe thought he'd like to talk to you. He thinks he can do better than being a blacksmith.
Will you go on upstairs? Novak and I will talk it over. Well?
Maria tells me that maybe you could use me.
How much?
$1,000 in a clear field. With her.
You know, I'd have bet you didn't have a price.
Everybody's got a price, Mr. Culligan.
What do I get?
You get me.
What are you going to do with all that money?
Oh, I just might buy me a house in St. Louis.
This is the worst Monday morning yet. 14 cases of disturbing the peace and 1 of stealing. Where do these crimes occur, Sheriff? As if I didn't.
Now, George, you keep needling.
You call me Your Honor in here. You understand?
All right, Your Honor. But you keep on needling me about bringing them in from the Grand Mercury. Well, that's what they seem to pick on to start their trouble.
So it seems. You. Are you a miner?
Yes, sir.
Which one of these fellows here gave you that black eye?
It wasn't none of these men. It was one of the toughs from working at the Mercury. And if he'd been alone, I would have been able to have whipped him.
Who was with him?
Sheriff Anderson here and a couple more.
Any of you men get banged up fighting anyone but the sheriff or Culligan's goons? Very well. All disturbing the peace cases dismissed.
Now, look here. You can't do this.
I just did it.
Well, how do you expect me to keep law and order in this town if every time I bring them in, you keep turning them loose?
You keep the order, and I'll look after the law. Now let's begin.
As a lawyer, I find that statement prejudicial.
You're entitled to your opinion. You. Get back to your work. The thief will approach the bench. What did you steal, son?
I didn't steal nothing.
He was playing poker and he called a pot and he didn't have the money to pay and he lost.
That's stealing.
Yes, Your Honor. He did it with the obvious intent to defraud the winner of the pot. It's strictly against the house rules.
Who was the winner?
A houseman. Honest dealer.
Well, I thought I'd heard about everything in this room in the past few weeks. Do you think you can run this court according to your rules? I've had enough of both of you and that Culligan, too. The defendant is dismissed with the court's apology. Court is adjourned. Shh. For the first time since Luis and Fred and me started this town, we're going to make some changes in the civic government. First off, we have to nominate a chairman of this meeting. I nominate me. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Now you folks, caucus among yourselves for a minute or two, pick out 6 nominees for a town council. Make it fast.
Ben, I think you ought to be over there.
Wouldn't do any good. George Perkins has made up his mind, and that's the end to it.
So have I. I have a lot of money in this place, and I'm going to protect my investment.
The mayor has just told me you're all accepted, and he proposes, for your first order of business, that we remove Sheriff Anderson from his post and let him spend all his time where he's been for some months now, in Mike Culligan's pocket. Unanimously. Now you folks, appoint a new temporary sheriff until we can have an election.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Joe Novak, temporary sheriff of Jasper.
Great idea.
I'm sure that appointment has the approval of the mayor.
Now, there's only one problem, gentlemen. I just don't want the job.
And it is overruled. Shut up, Sheriff. Now, you councilman, is there anything else you want to take up tonight? Now, meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. You fellas come with me for a minute. There's something I want to do that's going to give me a lot of pleasure. Come on, John.
Right.
As ranking legal officer of this community, the mayor has asked me to carry out an order of our newly formed city council, removing Ben Anderson from office as sheriff of Jasper. You're all finished, bub. Give me the badge. And further, carrying out the wishes of our city council, it gives me great pleasure to appoint Joe Novak as our new sheriff.
You got something you want to say, Joe?
Yeah, well, expect you to obey the law, Mr. Culligan.
Of course I will. I intend to cooperate with you as much as I did with Sheriff Anderson.
Well, that might not be too good. Sheriff Anderson just got himself fired.
I saw you. You cheated. You don't get away with that sort of stuff here. Hey, what's going on? All right, boys, break it up. Hey, no, everything looks okay. No, they got to settle. Back to the game, I guess. Back to the game. I knew they'd get things settled down. Fine. Come on, 23 red wins. That's it for me. Payoff on that one. A little bit of money. All right, $6. Never seen you get my number out.
What to do about this is beyond me.
When Joe was made sheriff, I thought things would be different. They are. Worse. All he does is moon over that tart.
She's certainly not the kind of girl I thought he'd fall for.
Let's face it, George. He's not the kind of man we thought he'd be either.
I'm gonna have a talk with him once more. Then, if that does no good, I guess we'll have to call another town meeting.
I don't like this, Joe. I didn't count on falling for you.
He hasn't been bothering you, has he?
No, he hasn't been near me in weeks.
Then what's wrong with the way we are?
I honestly don't know. All of a sudden, I hate Culligan. I hate this place. I even hate me.
What about me?
I'm not fooling, Joe. I never felt like this about anyone. You're getting to be too important to me.
That's the way I want it.
No. It can't be. I'm not right for you.
Yes, you are. And so is Culligan. I like the way I'm living, you know?